Hey guys, another question, another day. So today's question is a little bit on the tougher side and would really cover really good logic. So if you guys, I would really recommend you guys to pay attention and really solve this question on your own, because if you're able to solve this question, I'm pretty sure you're able to do a lot of questions and your concepts are pretty clear, I would say, and you can think in a very logical manner. So do try it out this question and solve it on your own and see if you're able to write a smaller query or a better query in any way, and you can post in the comments. So without wasting time, let's go ahead and share the question, and I'll start solving it so you can also see my approach and how I plan to do this thing. Okay. um yeah. Okay. So if you see in this question, okay, what is the question? Okay, so we have to basically identify the most popular product and analyze its purchasing patterns. Okay, and uh, the one thing important to know is that notice that the product should have been bought more than once. Okay, so if the product has been bought once, by once I mean at one transaction date has been only one, it should not be counted. So in this category, okay, it should not be one. That's what it's asking. And calculate the total quantity and the average quantity purchased for each product. Pretty simple question. Not that, but I hope the queries come. So let me show you the expected output, what we are looking at. So this is something we'd really want in our output. Okay, we want the product ID, we want the product name, total quantity, average quantity, and most popular product. Now let's and this is the table. So I'll post the create and insert statements so you can also try it out. And let me run this thing. And we have this original table that we are getting, right? So this is a table. You know, so let's start off by working on this code. Okay. So let's look at in this. So before we even start, like, how do you think? So how would you go about solving this question? Okay, what do we need here? Let's look at. Okay, so we need total quantity in here. So product name, product ID. If I think if you observe these two, the only reason they have been grouped together, that means that they have used a group by function because they are in together. And I feel total quantity is because they probably use some function. That's the reason they are able to get that. And for average quantity, they've used an average function, and most popular product has to be done via subquery. So I think that has to be done through another way. But yeah, so let's focus on what I would say, finding out what I would say. Um, just focusing on like this, I would say, like the product ID and the first four of them. Okay. So let's start off by writing this thing. Okay. Let's start with select product ID. Okay. Let me just do this one first. Okay. From product transactions. Okay. Now, if you observe, the output is product ID and product name. Okay. And both of them have their unique identifiers. So if they're unique identifiers, what do you mean? It's group by, and they have done probably product ID. And then you have product name. So they are unique identifiers. Now, another thing, if you observe in the first question, what have they asked? The product should have been bought more than once. So what do you mean by when they somebody says that it has been bought more than once? Okay, it means that the count of this is should be more than one. So if you look in here, okay, laptop has been bought more than once, phone has been bought more than once, tablet has been bought more than once, headphones has been bought more than once, right? There are two. But the only thing that has not been bought more than once is smartwatch. So how do I remove that? So we already have group by, and let me write down this way. Okay, I'm gonna write having, okay, count of everything, okay, should be more than one. So our second query has been this one that we wanted, has been, we found it out, right? Um, yeah. So we got that, and yeah, that's something we have solved it. Okay. Now, what do we need here? Okay. We need the what? We need product ID. Okay, because and then we need the product name. And now what is the first thing we need? We need the sum, right? The total quantities. When you say total quantity, what do you mean? Okay. You basically need the, what I would say, you need the total. Okay. So total quantity. Okay. Quantity. Okay. And then what do you need here? Then we need average. Okay. Is what we need. Okay. So let's do this way. Um, average of what I would say, average of quantity, you know, quantity as average uh, quantity. Okay. Now, what else do we need? Um, we can also have one of another column that we like to have, which is of count everything, uh, count everything as purchase count. You can see that. Yeah. So yeah. So I think if I run this thing, let's see what do we get. Okay. Um, so you observe one thing. So whatever I've done now, I have done a group ID. Group. We have done a group I group by product ID and product name. So we're getting the total quantity that we wanted. We're getting the average quantity, and we're getting the purchase count. Okay. Now I understand you might be thinking the average count has been in decimal, and then why are we getting it in this format? Okay. And yeah, and that's an issue that is there. So how would I actually solve this issue? Okay. Now, so there is a thing, so there's an important concept in here, and let's first understand how average works. Now, average is the problem, the reason I'm getting is because it's considering it as, so what is happening is that it is converting, average converts it into a float number into integer. So what I can solve this, I can actually do a very numerical way of solving. Okay, I can do this way: quantity, some quantity, divide by. This is what will be the ideal formula, right? And see what do we get. Okay, we're getting the same thing. Okay, now let me show you guys some function that we can use. Okay, what I can do in here is that I can do it like this and in 1.0. Now what this does is that, so this becomes a float number and this is an integer. Okay, so float divided by an integer becomes a float number. Okay, so if you divide, so that's a good thing. So that what I'm doing in here is that, okay, yeah, so yeah. So if you observe in here, it's getting it out of but we're getting it as decimals, okay? And I can in the final query, I can remove this numbers, okay? And I don't need to use we can for that we can use cast decimal, but we can do it in the end. So wait till the end and we'll sort this matter out, okay? But we were able to get the integer which we eventually wanted. So let me just put this into a CTE, okay, with product summary. Yes, okay. So yeah, so we have put this in a good city, and now we can play around with whatever we want. Okay, let me just run this and see if this is getting product summary, product summary. Okay, summary. Okay, um, let me run this once. I like running queries in between. Okay, so that's the reason I do it. Okay, so honestly, what do we don't need? So we don't need the purchase count as such. And here, I just wanted to show you guys, how how are we getting this 3.6s? So what is happening is it's basically doing 11 by 3, and that's the reason we're able to get this thing. And how are we getting 4.5? 9 by 2, that's the reason we're getting 4.5. So for your understanding, I'm done it. Don't really need it as much as such. So let me just write down the product ID, product ID. Okay. Then we need the product name. Okay. And then what else we need? We need the total quantity. Total quantity. Okay. Total quantity. Quantity. Okay. Quantity. What else do we need? We need the average quantity. Okay. Average quantity. Okay. Now, here comes a very important aspect on understanding averages and how to use another thing called as how do you use cast function? It's a very good thing to understand this logic. So if you want to convert like something like this is already in a float, but you want to convert it into like a decimal, but only till certain fraction. Okay, so let's say if I want to convert this average quantity into decimal, but it has still two decimal point, I have to write this way as decimal. Okay, as decimal 10 2, because I want it till 2, and I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna again put this into average quantity. Okay, let me run this and see if I'm on the right track or not. Okay, and if there are any errors or something. Okay, so you see, I've got most of it. Okay, so we have sorted out like the most of the question in here has been sorted out. So this part has, so we just need to find out the most popular product. Okay, now that's another part. Now we have done most of the question is solved, like 80% of the question we solved. Now let's do another last part, which is this one. Okay, now if I had to run this one, let's say something like let me just try if this runs or not. Select max. Okay, select max. No, it will not work. Okay, let me just write it down. So we need a case statement in here. And the way I'm going to do that is, so we need to form a new column itself. So we'll have to use a key. There's no other way we can do it, right? Because we have to create another column, right? So what I can do in here is that I'll show you. Okay, case when. So when case when. Okay, total quantity, total quantity. Okay, case when total quantity is equal to when. Now think about it. What is that? When if you want to select laptop, okay, how would we select laptop? Okay, what I can do in here is that I can do simply do select, okay, max, okay, total uh quantity, okay, okay, from product summary or CTE, okay. Let me see the spelling is right. Oh yeah, we're good spelling. I don't know why it's showing me the red lines. I'm doing everything right only. Okay. Um, so yeah, so select, okay, case when total quantity is equals to selecting the max total quantity. So what we are doing here is that we are selecting this thing in here, okay, because we want the maximum total quantity, okay, because we want to find the most popular product, and how we're going to do the most popular product, which has been and we want which has been sold the most, right? So then we're going to write, then why is this focus written? Then product, what do you need? We need the product name, then product name, and we also need nulls, right? Because if you're not there, so you have to add a null statement. And as, okay, most popular product. Okay, I just let me just put it here. Yeah, this, okay, this is nice. Okay, I like this way. Yeah. Now let's see if this runs or not. Okay, if there's an error or something. Okay, yeah. Now everything is sorted out the way we wanted. Okay, the last aspect we have to do is that it's just the order is improper. So when you think of order, it's simple. Okay, it's order by total quantity. Okay, DSC. Okay, perfect. Hmm, why is it? Yeah. So look at this code. It's a very simple one, but has works pretty all right to me. Okay. So in here, let's do it. Okay. A little bit of not looking the best code, but yeah, it looks. I have done all the logic in here. So the few key areas to look in this particular question was that of understanding that the first question was to remove having the having count function here, because they wanted a product that had been done more than one. Okay. Another aspect was this was quite easy group by, because anybody could have thought of that. Um, this one, okay, because people don't understand this, okay, that if you just use average directly, you will not get this aspect which we are getting as the decimal point. So I had to go the basic way of calculating the average, which is some quantity into 1.0, and then I got the average quantity, and I was able to solve that. Then after being able to do this, okay, let me run this one. Yeah. after being able to do this, if you remember the first time, okay, I selected the product ID, product name, and total quantity, and then used a cast one in here because we only had wanted, so to get, if you're only for getting fill decimal three, let me try this one. Okay, so let's see if this works or not. Okay, so here we're getting till three decimal. Okay, so we just want till two decimal, right? Because that's how our expected output looks like, right? So it's important to understand this cast part, okay? And we put it as average quantity. Now, the last part of question was this one. Case when total quantity is equal to selecting the max total quantity from product summary, okay? Then the product name, else null, end as most popular product. And we're getting it the same way as we're getting this way. Product ID, product name, total quantity. I mean, my names are different, okay? But yeah, that's all right, I feel, okay? But we're getting the final thing right, okay? And we have to use finally an order by to get it the topmost, okay? So I think it's a very good question for you to understand, try it out, and solve it out on your own. And I'm gonna post the um, the create and insert statement in the section so you guys can learn from it. It was a 20-minute video I made for the first time, but I hope it was quite informative for you guys. So if you guys found this video in any way to be informative and you were able to get some value out of it, I would really appreciate if you guys could like the video. And for this video, I'm aiming for like 5 likes, okay? This is not 10, but 5 likes is what I want, okay? And I think that would really appreciate and goes a long way for me, okay? So yeah, so hope you guys like this kind of content, okay? If you want it to be a bit more tougher or a bit more easier, let me know. I just thought it's a good question, okay? I saw it, solving it, and I was like, okay, I should make a video on it. So yeah, that's about it. Have a good day. Take care. It was snowing out today, and yeah, but it was a good day. It was a good day. So take care. Bye. Take